how I bombed explaining neuroplasticity to my nephew, and why it was the best thing ever. A while back, I was feeling proud of myself for reading a stack of books on brain science. So when my 11-year-old nephew asked, "What's neuroplasticity?" I jumped in like a TED speaker. 5 minutes later, his eyes glazed over. He blinked twice, then said, "So, the brain is made of plastic?" Facepalm. I realized I didn't really understand it. I just memorized fancy words. That embarrassing moment led me to the Feynman Technique, a method that not only helped me finally understand tricky concepts, but also made me look smarter without trying to sound smart. Let's unpack this genius technique step by step. What is the Feynman Technique? It's named after Richard Feynman, a brilliant physicist who was famous for explaining complicated ideas in simple, everyday language. The Feynman Technique is a way to learn something deeply by pretending you're teaching it to someone else, like a 12 years old. As physicist Richard Feynman famously said, "If you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough." The 4 simple steps of the Feynman Technique. Step 1. Pick something you want to learn. Write down the topic you want to understand at the top of a blank page. Let's say the concept is API. Step 2. Explain like you're teaching a kid. Use plain, everyday language. Avoid jargon. Pretend you're explaining it to a curious kid. An API is like a waiter in a restaurant. You, the app, tell the waiter, API, what you want from the kitchen, the server, and the waiter brings it back to you. Boom. No tech jargon. Just food. Everyone loves food. Step 3. Identify your gaps. Wait, can APIs also send stuff back? What if the data is private? Stumble while explaining something. That's your golden ticket. Go back to the material. Fill in the blanks. That confusion equals the exact spot where deeper learning happens. Step 4. Simplify again. Once you've learned the tough spots, go back and make it even simpler. So, APIs are like translators that help two people speak different languages work together. They don't care what's being said, just that it's delivered. The trick is to use your imagination, pictures, stories, or analogies, to make your explanation easier to remember. If your little brother says, "Oh, now I get it," you nailed it. Let's try it with blockchain. Step 1. Concept. Blockchain. Step 2. Explain it simply. A blockchain is like a digital notebook that everyone can see and write in, but no one can erase or change what's already written. It keeps records that can't be faked. Step 3. Identify your gaps. Wait, how does it prevent people from changing it? What does decentralized really mean? Back to learning. Step 4. Simplify more. Imagine a group of friends passing around a notebook. Each time someone writes something, everyone gets a copy. If someone tries to cheat, everyone else can see it doesn't match. That's how blockchain keeps things honest. Now that's tasty learning. If you can explain it in your own words, using simple language and fun examples, you don't just know it, you really understand it. Why is Feynman Technique so powerful? Let's break it down. 1. It exposes the illusion of knowledge. You might think you understand something, but when you try to explain it without looking at your notes, things can get tricky. Suddenly, you can't remember certain parts, or you're unsure how to explain it clearly. This moment of confusion is actually helpful. It shows you exactly where your knowledge is shaky. The gaps become obvious. It's like checking a map and realizing there's a road you didn't notice before. Now, you can focus on filling in those gaps. 2. It forces active recall. When you just reread a textbook or watch a video, you're passively absorbing information. But when you explain something from memory, without relying on notes, that's when your brain works hard to retrieve the information. This process, called active recall, strengthens your memory. Imagine you're lifting weights for your brain. The more you force it to recall information, the stronger and quicker it gets. That struggle isn't a sign of weakness, it's your brain building muscle. 3. It builds mental connections. The more you simplify complex ideas and use metaphors, the more you link new knowledge to things you already understand. Think of it like a web. As you create analogies, like comparing APIs to waiters or blockchain to notebooks, you're attaching new ideas to familiar ones. This helps your brain organize the information and make connections more easily. It's like adding glue to make the pieces of the puzzle stick together, so the next time you need to remember something, it's already connected to what you know. 4. It turns you into a better communicator, not just a better learner. Learning something well is great, but being able to explain it so simply that others get it instantly, that's next level. Think about the last time someone broke down a complicated topic so clearly that you actually felt smarter afterward. It was like they turned on a light in a dark room. You didn't just understand, it finally clicked. And admit it, a part of you wanted to say, "Thank you. Why doesn't everyone explain it like that?" Here's the good news, that someone can be you. Whether you're teaching a class, chatting with a friend, or creating content online, the Feynman Technique helps you communicate ideas in a way that feels easy, helpful, and human. It's not just about learning, it's about lighting the way for others, too. In short, the Feynman Technique turns learning into an active, hands-on experience, forcing you to confront what you know or don't know, and making the information stick by connecting it to your existing knowledge. It's like making learning a game of connecting the dots, but instead of dots, it's knowledge. So, how do you explain the Feynman Technique to a friend? Imagine you're at a coffee shop, and your friend asks you what the heck this Feynman thing is. You could say, the Feynman Technique is like choosing clothes from your wardrobe. Imagine your brain is full of options, facts, concepts, and details about a topic you're trying to learn. It can get overwhelming, just like having too many clothes to pick from. First, you pick a concept, like choosing a piece of clothing. Then, you explain it as if you're telling a 5-year-old or explaining it to a friend. If there are parts of your explanation that are unclear or too complicated, you go back to your source material and remove those extra options, making your explanation simpler. Just like narrowing down your wardrobe to a few outfits makes choosing what to wear faster and easier. The Feynman Technique helps you focus on the essentials and quickly understand what you need to know. The Feynman Technique isn't just about memorizing, it's about transforming the material into a form you truly own. By explaining it in your own words, no matter how simple or silly it may seem, you are actually learning it at a deeper, more meaningful level. Next time you're tackling a tough subject, try this method. You'll find that the process of simplifying will not only help you understand better, but also make it easier to remember. So, what's something you'd like to simplify next using the Feynman Technique?